New concepts for Christian and game planning towards things that he's already comfortable with? And is there sort of a timeline when it comes to getting him into the playbook deeper and deeper?
You know, it's a great question, Ben. I think it's Ben, right? Yeah, I saw your picture on the paper that day. Yeah, it didn't look the same as that right there, but I kind of did glasses. But Ben, no, it is. You know, one of the things again, it kind of goes back to what I said to Neil. You know, you don't really have the luxury of preseason games, so you're going into this game and you're trying to, you know, it's the first time you've ever coached this guy in a game. Not the first time you've ever coached him because you have 29. But going from the last practice fields to MetLife Stadium is a pretty big jump. So you know, it's like I said after the game, we're figuring each other out. You know, he knows what I'm like on game day now, and I know what he's like. And you know, it's going to be interesting as we go forward. But you know, he's a very bright kid. He's been able to pick up so many different things in our offense. So you know, it's more me doing a better job with him than him doing a better job, to be honest with you.
Hey, Coach, you not only trusted Kristen with your offense, but you also let him come out and talk to us afterwards. You might not see it on a lot of other places. Why was that important that he did that?
Well, I just think, you know, he's a mature guy, and you know, I talked to him before he came out here. I talked to you. I mean, you know, I'm trying to work with him on those things because you know, I know some of you guys are gonna. No, I'm just kidding. So, anyways. You know, no, I think he's a mature guy. He's a well-spoken guy. I think he's bright. He's a very humble guy. He loves his teammates. He loves the Penn State. I mean, here's a guy, again, just like a lot of these guys in that freshman class, they could have gone anywhere. You know, this guy had scholarships to over 50 schools. And he committed to us before the sanctions came out. And he stuck with us when the sanctions came out. I mean, I think when you know, down the road, no matter what happens in his career, 10 years down the road, and all these guys that did that, because there's more than just him, they're better men for having done that. And so I felt like after a game like that, and just why wait? You know, he's going to talk to you guys eventually anyways, and so it's good to get him out there after a win and let him see what that's all about. Kind of like shaving your head with a cheese grater. What I told him, no, I was just kidding.
Being September 1st, you can do a little bit more with recruiting now. Have you changed anything about how you handle the evaluation period or anything you might have learned from this period last year that you implement this year?
Repeat that again.
You can do a little bit more with recruiting now. You
yeah.
the evaluation period.
Yeah,
Did you learn
at the beginning? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you're allowed to do some different things with run-on candidates and things like that. No question. We will evaluate our recruiting process every single year, more than once during the year too. And so, yeah, I don't want to get into the details of what we've changed, but it's all about evaluating your roster, figuring out what you need, how you can plug some guys in, who's out there that's interested in you. And you know, again, I go back and always it's about recruiting is about a fit. You know, does that guy fit with your program? And again, it's not about just collecting talent. We're trying to build a football team, and so yeah, we evaluate it. And we do different things. We'll do different things every year.
Coach, tight end was considered one of the deepest positions for you guys' team. I think tight end you was even the phrase that was thrown out there.
Not by me.
But losing Lehman with Carter day to day, does that limit anything you guys do schematically on the offensive end?
Yeah, anytime that it doesn't limit us. You know what I mean? It doesn't limit us. You know, again, you go back to like, you have to kind of relate it to the roster in a pro football team. So you have 53 guys on the roster, right? So, okay, so you bring 2 tight ends to the game, or 3 tight ends to the game. If 1 or 2 of those guys goes down, what are you going to do? Like just play with 10 guys or 9 guys? No, you have to have a contingency plan. So we always do. And so it's not about limiting. It's more about, okay, what personnel group are we going to use now that we don't have Matt Lehman? Of course, that it's not, you know, when you lose a good player, it's not good for anybody, but it is about the next man up, and that next man might be a receiver, it might be another running back, it might be another, you know, a guy that you move over from defense to do some things for you. You know, you have to think out of the box. So I don't think it's as much about limiting, it's more about being able to think out of the box and put guys in the right spots.
Take 2 more. This is Travis.
Bill, the Virginia game last year for Sam Ficken obviously was an absolute nightmare for him. And, you know, some of the stuff he got on Twitter and social media after that Were you at all worried maybe about his ability to rebound mentally or his psyche after that game? I mean, he seems like a pretty confident guy right now who's in a pretty good place.
Yeah, he's a very calm guy, you know, and I noticed that about him right away. And if you remember back to the circumstances of why he was the kicker, you know, he was in a somewhat of a position battle with Anthony Farah in the spring. Farah, coming out of the spring, won the battle. Farah was a good kicker. And then obviously after the sanctions, he decided to go to Texas. And so Sam Ficken was kind of one of the first examples of next man up. You know, he was our kicker. And so he was thrust into a tough situation. And then in that game, it starts with me. Virginia game, I could have done a better job of putting them in better situations, maybe going for it on a couple of those fourth downs, but I put him out there. And I think at the end of the day, it was maybe one of the best things that ever happened to him was he went through that. He took the criticism, you know, to heart. You know, obviously that hurts when people that are anonymous go on. That's why I hate Twitter. You know, I don't know. You go on there and I brushed my teeth today. Okay, like who cares? I mean, it's just ridiculous. So, but anyways, you know, I do think that he came through that with flying colors, and he ended up, you know, absolutely helping us win some games at the end of the year. And now he's picked up where he left off, and hopefully he can continue to do it. You know, it's a fine line, but he's going to work extremely hard to do it, and we'll be with him right every step of the way.
You complimented Obang's play at linebacker, and he took a lot of the snaps there on Saturday. Kind of an in-game situation where there was a kind of a need, but probably facilitated that. If there was like a long-term injury or going into a game plan, is there a chance he could permanently move a linebacker or fill in, or go on the depth chart there, linebacker, or is he more of just a safety and he fills in when he can otherwise?
Wow, that's a complicated question. No, he's one of our guys that's a multiple role guy. So, like yesterday he practiced with the linebackers, but today he's going to practice with the safeties. And then tomorrow he may practice with the fullbacks. And then the next day he may practice with the tight ends because he's going to do some tight end stuff for us. And then the next day on Friday he might really concentrate on all the special teams. I'm being serious. And we have a lot of guys like that. So he's one of those guys that's a multi-purpose guy, and he understands that, and he'll fill those roles admirably.
How many guys are like that overall, playing that many? Is there, talking?
I don't know. It's probably a question more for after the season. You'll figure it out after the season how many guys are like that. You know what I mean?
Okay, thanks, Coach.